They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Next, receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Alert, 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 alert!
To throw, Mayfield. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Rashawn Gary in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
Three and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12.
Regular. Hey, alert 33.
And Mayfield just getting the play off. Toward the sideline, it's complete, an athletic grab, but still well short of the first. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's a 40-yard punt, but they lose yardage on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10.
Okay, ready?
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Blue check. Check smash. Ready.
They'll begin the drive with a run by Dillon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
Straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Yellow, 1. Smith, red.
Again, it's Dillon. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Third and 2. Love with it. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to take over here up near the 40. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They've probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Kings! Corner right.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They run with Mostert off the option. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Our game here, the first of 3 on this Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to everybody. And remember, you got 2 more after this. We're followed here by the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then tonight, a good one out in the desert, the Bucks and Cards from Glendale. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. The first carry for the North Texas man, it's Jeff Wilson. And he stopped immediately there. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Here's Mayfield. He is going to find Hill here. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give them 25 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now Mostert off the read option. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Credit the tackle to John Franklin Myers. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Real.
Now Mayfield. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Mayfield looks to throw. He's got it. Touchdown. Mike Gesicki, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Love with a give to Dillon. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Here we go.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. They run again with Dillon. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the 1st down carry.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Strike. Strike. Ready.
Here's Love. Past the 20. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 24-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
On 1st and 10, Love. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Channing Tindall brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
10 seconds.
To try again after the sack. Love. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Point it right, point it right, point it right. Good.
Following the interception, Mayfield. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, 48 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make the score 14-0. More Armstead out now following the touchdown to kick. A short kick taken at the 18. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the plague did on the last one.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. This is Dillon on the counter. And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Love. Got a man. It's Tunyon. And he's going to have a Packers first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Jordan Love ready on first down here. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
On the set.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll wind up getting about 6 out of that as that's going to lead us to the 2-minute warning. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now Love. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 31-yard line. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Love now. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Brandon Jones picking it off. And the Dolphins are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Wilson with a first down carry. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 16 more on that one and another first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Mayfield now. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Tyreek Hill with a second touchdown here in this first half. Sanders on for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they... And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll run with Wilson out of the shotgun. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd and inches, Mayfield. And he's got his tight end, Gesicki, in the end zone. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it is 28-0. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. Out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be left with second and a couple. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. And this time they'll just keep this on the ground. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. So we've reached halftime here on Christmas Day as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the third quarter. Fields this way up at the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Dillon now on 1st and 10. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
On 2nd and 12, Love. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing. Love. He's going to go up top again. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. And they had the big halftime lead. Their defense just helped them out further by forcing the turnover, so things are starting to look pretty rosy.
They certainly are, but they've got to be careful about getting complacent, though. They still need to go out and run their offense efficiently.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. The keeper gets him 7 that time, but it'll lead to a 3rd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
41 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Hey, avoid 33.
Play fake. Mayfield sliding out of the pocket. Then he completes it to Wilson. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Now an option play on 2nd down.
And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone came around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture.
And he'll decide to keep this once more.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
King! Point it right.
Throwing, Mayfield. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just working the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll run straight ahead with Wilson. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
Real.
Mayfield to throw it. Got a man. It's Waddle, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the third quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the first and goal.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. They go back to the ground, this time Mostert. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, but still a decent ways from the end zone now on 4th and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. The kick by Sanders is good. And that will finish off this third quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Offense ready to get their next drive underway. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. Just silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Love looking to throw it. Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred the defense.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
3.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill. He has career touchdown number 78, tying in with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And the Dolphins look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. The PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
From the 6. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Loving the Packers now with a 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, "Where was that all game?" Or maybe just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game, because those are going to happen from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready to go in the future. But that run...
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Packers. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Extra point up and good by Crosby as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Mayfield off the play fake. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 10.
Pistol. Run. Hey, alert! One time.
Mayfield. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Give him 22 there on the third down conversion.
Well, I'm sure he likes his performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the fourth quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw caught by his receiver, Hill. Down inside the 10. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. 39 yards.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. Again, Wilson. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Jeff Wilson, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are closing in on a 9th victory on the year as they extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Love. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jalen Phillips from his outside linebacker spot gets him down there for a loss of 4.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. The front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
Well, it's an old chestnut, but let's face it, offensively, they've got to have some pride here, because this has been a worst-case scenario all game for them. Keep putting in the effort, keep trying to keep your quarterback upright, and get through the end of this one as quickly as possible.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. desperation time here. Love on 4th down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Well, with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 72 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. It was a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down, Mostert. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
On 3rd down, here comes Mostert. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Miami, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Packers, it's a tough blow to their playoff aspirations as they drop to 9-6. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings.